Here we got a 2019 Cadillac XT4. It's in for the coolant flow control valve. This thing is mounted right up here under the intake manifold. I went online to see if I could find some information on this because I like to, watch do's and don'ts, tips and tricks. So I know what I'm getting into basically. When you go into jobs that you've never done before blindly without any instructions or how-tos, it just takes a little longer because you got to survey the things as you're doing it. I figured I record my process so I can make someone else's attempt at this a little smoother. You start off by taking the cover off the top. You got the charge pipe, the intake pipe that goes around the front. Get that out the way. Disconnect the harness that runs across the front here. All these plugs got to come off. All these plugs here. Swing the harness up. I got a little bungee holding it up right here so it's out of my way. Unplug this sensor here. There's another harness that runs along the front of this. Take it off. Push it down here out of the way. Get the oil dipstick out of the way. There's a clamp down here on the charge pipe from the on the intake pipe from the bottom of the intake manifold here that you gotta pop off. See that clamp? I'm working at it right now. Once you get this clamp off, you should be able to get these screws off and the manifold should come out. Doesn't look like anything else is holding it down. Let me keep going. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, first tip. This clip down there, the one I pointed out, it's damn near impossible to reach the backside of it to unhook it and slide it out. So I removed all the screws first, pulled the manifold back this way, and I was able to stick a screwdriver down here through the front and unhook that clip. This clip. See, it kind of hooks on both sides. The lips here, they lock in place, so you can't just pull it out. You have to open each end as you're pulling it back. So yeah, I found it way easier just removing the bolts, pulling the manifold back, getting a screwdriver down there, pulling the clip out, and then popping the manifold up. And before you pull it out, you got 2 more plugs underneath it that you can access now. Got this one down there and that one right there. Once you get those off, the manifold should come right up. There we go. Manifold's out. And there's the unit right here. There's a plug on this end. There's another plug on that end underneath this. We're going to have to move this out of the way. It looks like it's on some brackets here. Got some quick connect lines. Yeah. And we still got to drain the coolant and then get all these hoses off before we get the unit out. But we're there. We reached it. Shouldn't take more than about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get all this out of the way and get to that piece. So yeah, we got 1 plug, 2 plugs, 1, 2, 3, 4 hoses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hoses. All right, 2 plugs, 4 bolts, and 5 hoses. 3 plugs. I'm sorry, stand corrected. 1, 2, 3. All right, so 3 plugs, 4 bolts, 5 hoses. 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right, forgot to mention, get a rag and cover your charge pipes. Last thing you want is some falling in here and causing you more work unnecessarily. Simple, easy way to avoid it. Cover our openings. I even like to cover these too. It'd be that one day where your luck is just out the window and you fucking over here removing one of these screws. Next thing you know, you got something that fell inside your intake valve area here. And I don't even got to tell you what you got to do to get that out. So cover your ports, cover your holes, put your oil cap back on, avoid unnecessary mishaps. All right, see all the ports closed up, covered, at the bottom opening covered. Move this out of the way while I took the bolts off so I can move it out of the way now. First thing you're gonna notice is the crazy position of all the hose clamps. That's the first thing I noticed for sure. So you gotta make a plan of attack. We got this one, that one down there, this big one here, and this one. So just start taking them off one by one, pull the hose off, and move to the next one. You're gonna obviously have to use different tools for each clamp. Some clamps will be pliers, some will be different type of pliers, different angle pliers. I got a special tool that's made for these clamps to use in small, hard to reach, low space areas. I'll pull it out right now. Show you. See this? This tool's pretty cool. You don't have to use it when there's no space. You can just use it on any clamp you can reach with, and you just pull the handle, and it locks the clamp open for you. You can leave the tool locked, and your clamp is loose. You can break it loose, rotate it. See that? And if you want to release the clamp, you just pull that handle down, the lever down, and release the handle. Boom. Real easy, cool tool. This will make my life easier right here, that's for sure. Let me get these clamps off. Real quick, before you guys start breaking these hoses loose and water spills everywhere, tuck that tube out of your way. Last thing you want to do is also get water in there, because you're going to have to remove the tube and drain it out. So move that out of your way. Make sure you got a clear path to the floor. Put a pan down there and catch your mess. All right. It's finally out. Here's the piece. The hardest screw to get to is probably that one there, because of this neck. You have to use a really long extension since you're under it, and just, you got to feel your way around and see if you land on the head of the bolt. But there it is, it's out. So now we'll just clean up the surfaces, put the new one in, fasten everything down, and reverse the process. It's not too complicated. All right, piece is back on. All the hoses are connected. I literally only use this tool here. This tool right here made this job so much easier. It was so easy to grab each clamp with that tool. I don't know how I would have done it with some pliers. I would have been here still. Put your locking clip back on this charge pipe down here, and make sure it falls into place. I might have to close this up a little bit, but it should sit right in there like this. Like that way you can pop the intake manifold in here and lock it in place. Remove all your towels that you covered all your ports with. Make sure you plug in all the 3 plugs that are on the flow control valve, and then make sure you put your 2 sensors back on, your 2 plugs back underneath the intake manifold before you set it down. All right, let me get that on. All right, got the manifold back on, everything plugged in, dipstick bolted down, sensors under this one's plugged in, everything up here is plugged in, everything put back in place. We just got to put this intake tube on, the cover, and then fire it up. That what? Then call him, yeah. I'm sure at some point they're gonna need something from us. Yeah. The transmission has all the trouble codes for the transmission, and driving it, you could tell the transmission isn't functioning properly. Transmission issues.